Namaste everybody. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're all good. Keeping on that higher frequency, that higher vibration, and keeping in your best vibrational accord to your higher self or your inner being. First of all, if you haven't already, then please subscribe. Press that subscribe button. It's completely free, doesn't cost you any money. It's going to really help the channel to grow and to spread to people who really need this. And please like the videos. Only takes a second. If you're getting any use at all out of it, even 20% use, and all the rest is just goes over your head, press that like button. It really helps spread the videos and spread the content to other members of the YouTube community. Today's video is about karma. What is karma? How does it work? How does it fit into the laws of the universe? And I'm wary we've only got 14 minutes. I might have to do this in 2 videos. Let's see how we go. Okay, karma, the actual word karma, means the doing, or to do, or the action of someone towards another. Now, the Hindus believe that karma, there's negative and positive karma. That is a given. There's negative and positive karma. Positive karma is what is sometimes known as dharma. Again, negative karma is when you have acted towards someone in a negative way, and you then incur karmic due or karmic imbalance. Now, this karmic imbalance has got to be paid off in this lifetime, usually in this lifetime, but sometimes it carries on to the next lifetime. For example, if you have lived a fairly good life in general, of course we all make mistakes. You cannot even be human without making mistakes. But if you've lived a fairly quote-unquote good life, you've treated people with great respect, but then in your last couple of years before you die, you treat people absolutely terribly in your old age, and you're absolutely horrible and bitter and jealous because other people are more well than you, other people are more able-bodied than you, then that can incur you karma to be paid back, negative karma to be paid back in your next life. Because of course there's no time for you to pay that karma in this life, not usually, not if you're in the last year or 2. The Hindus believe that karma is only the action that you do to others in a negative way, which then incurs you a reaction. So that it's action and reaction, cause and effect. Okay, this goes with the law of karma is basically the law of cause and effect. They're both tied in with each other. Okay, so you create the action or the cause, and if it's a negative one, then the effect in that life, later on in that life, or in your next life, if it's late, if you don't have time to pay it off in the years that you've got left remaining in this current incarnation, then that will be carried on to the next life. Now that's one way of looking at it, but I've been shown a different way. The Buddhist way, now they believe that even intention, just having the intention of doing harm to others, creates negative karma. to be paid off in that life and or your following life or lives. You see, if you're somebody like Hitler, who's incurred a lot of karma, negative karma, that was a lot of negative action towards others. Somebody like Hitler might be spending, I don't know, depends on how much his soul is willing to put his next few lives through. If he's willing to go through absolute hell on earth for 15 or 16 lifetimes in a row, that could probably pay off that much karma, believe it or not. But if his soul is not willing to do that to his human self when he's in embodiment here on earth, then that could take hundreds of lifetimes. Hundreds. I've been shown that from what I've intuitively downloaded and channeled from my higher self, I've been shown that the Buddhists are correct. It's intention and action. It's both. And both add up to the karmic debt that you'll have at the end of that life or within that lifetime to pay off. Now, when I say pay off, it sounds like you're paying for a sin or something. It's not like that. It's not, nothing's really right or wrong. It's what you deem to be right or wrong in your soul self. But because your soul self, when you leave here, reflects back on that life from the soul point of view, don't forget the soul is perfect. The soul doesn't have the human ego. The soul has an ego. We'll go into this in later videos. The soul has a spiritual ego. It has to have, because otherwise an ego means sense of self or knowing of oneself or the concept of oneself. I mean, you have to have some kind of a concept of self, although when you are your soul self, you're far closer to the divine self. You are in your divine energy body. So you look at things in a much more neutral way, though you still judge yourself. Oh yes, you still judge yourself. You go over your life review as part of the process, and you then go, I call them the elders. You then go and speak with the elders. You commune with other spirits, other higher souls, usually of the 5th and 6th densities of consciousness. And you discuss how you're going to balance this or neutralize this karma, this negative karma, how much negative reaction you're going to get in your following life from the negative action that you caused to others in the previous life, just gone. Now, a lot of this explanation is basically because we're doing these mastery classes, these teachings and exercises to harness our consciousness, to be able to direct our consciousness and thought forms, and be able to control our thought forms using our imagination ultimately. Because don't forget that all of this world is mental. All of this is the law of mentalism. Okay, it's one of the Hermetic principles, and it's very, very true from what I've been shown. The 7 Hermetic laws, or the 7 Hermetic principles. Hermes Trismegistus means thrice great, 3 times great. We will be going into the 7 main, you see the 7 main laws of the universe which affect the 3rd density and the 4th density. And that's where everybody who's watching this video are in the late 3rd or the early 4th density, if not slightly higher. Some of you might even be in the low end of the 5th density of consciousness. Either way, karma still applies. The law of karma, or the law of cause and effect, still applies, because ultimately you're trying to find balance. Your soul is trying to find harmony, divine balance between the negative and the positive, the divine negative, the divine positive, the divine masculine, the divine feminine. And what people call 5D, fourth and fifth densities of consciousness experience, is the beautiful accumulation, the beautiful balancing, the harmonization of the negative and the positive, the best aspects of both, brought into one embodiment, spirit and flesh, spirit and third density, brought into what's going to be the 5D. Okay, the masculine, divine masculine and divine feminine, brought into this beautiful union. It's all about union, unity. Yoga means union. And we are trying to find yoga, we are trying to find union, this beautiful balance between the dark and the light, the positive, the negative, the female, the feminine, the masculine. And of course, that involves what we call the law of cause and effect, or the law of karma. So there are several ways of, in this lifetime, we're in the new energy. This is the 5D energy. This is the fourth density and fifth density consciousness energy. This is a whole new energy that we're in since 2012, but especially now after 2020. My God, things are ramped up. We're in this energy, in this time now, in this one lifetime that you've got right now. You can neutralize or balance or harmonize hundreds of lifetimes worth of karma, of negative karma. There are several ways to go about this, but it's all using your imagination, because your imagination, don't forget, it's the source's imagination. Everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. Ultimately, everything is energy on different vibratory levels within one field. Ultimately, there's only one thing happening, just in trillions and trillions and trillions of different aspects and different ways and different expressions of that one. The more we realize our unity, the less we will need the law of karma. You see, karma is getting phased out. It's already in the last phases. But now is the time to offset and to balance and to harmonize all of this negative karma that we've accumulated over many, many lifetimes. I've recently channeled my higher self, and I've been shown that I'm still balancing this karma. I'm still balancing karma from 2 lifetimes ago, when I was a very wealthy, rich, I think I was British at the time. I was very, very wealthy, rich in the 1800s. And anyway, this is in the channeling section. There's a channel message from Sam, who's a master channeler, but I've also channeled the same channeling myself. So it's bang on right. I'm looking at the time because we're running out. And see, there's so much more to explain about this. I might have to do this in 2 videos, but the first way that we're going to be, well, the first method that we're going to be using to balance or to harmonize or to neutralize the negative karma, to bring us back into the divine balance, a centered point, okay, is going to be projected thought forms. So we're learning at the moment to focus our point of attention, our consciousness, a conscious point of one point of attention. Once we can do that and hone that in and get that really good, really accurate, we can then summon thought forms of the soul who we've had negative karma with, or the souls. There's usually more than one in any one lifetime. And we're going to do this through thought form projection with consciousness tracking. And we're going to go over this scenario that I'm going to give you, this routine and this mantra that deletes all karma with that soul. And it doesn't matter whether that soul is dead, nothing dies, is transitioned on the other side, or is here in the physical. And you don't even need to speak to that soul. You don't even need to speak to that human in person if they're still alive. You don't even need to see them. You can do this through your imagination, through your thought projection. Okay, and we're already out of time. I knew this would fly by, but that's okay. This is just the beginning of karma. I will do another video on this, no doubt. Namaste.